Yeah,
England watch along tonight,
yeah.
which will be
It's 20
some
past 7
fun. Yeah,
tonight. 20 past 7.
7 for a 7:45 kickoff, I think it is.
Yeah, Latvia. So if
Yep.
you're wanting to come along and listen to our dulcet tones again, come and join us at 20 past 7 tonight.
See who makes the lineup. See if Big
Yeah,
Dan gets a
see if
game.
Big Dan gets involved or not. Like I say, I've just been having a quick
He's from
gander at
Blythe,
these
you
things.
know.
I didn't know that.
Huh?
Obviously, there's lots of pressure on this weekend. I think I must admit, I'm looking forward to the Brighton game because obviously Brighton aren't
Brighton will
flying.
tell us where we are, I think.
I think you're right, mate. Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be an interesting look, and like I say, we'll probably do a little bit of a deep dive on
I'm,
Thursday.
I'm, I'm, I'm yeah. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! I'm looking for 3 points.
Well, I think we've got to start getting past these mental blocks when
Yeah.
it comes to teams that seem to have the voodoo on us, because I do think a lot of it is just the way we prep for the games. It's always been a game or a ground that we don't do very well at. Um,
Mm.
Going on what people are saying in the chat, Kev Bell saying football's always been like this for as long as I can remember. We only focus on talk about it now as every single inch of the game is analysed to death just to make content. I don't see it changing.
Well, Kevin, I don't agree with you there, really,
I
mate.
know.
I'm sure back in the day, when the time taken for goal kicks and throw-ins was nowhere near what it is today.
I mean, I think Kev's got. I've just put the last 10 seasons up, and they're all exactly the same. So for the last 10 seasons, they have been absolutely spot on. I think the problem is, and I'm going to get whipped for saying this. Unfortunately, having better players in the Premier League, having players that also seem to hit the ground a lot quicker than they would do normally. Amazing, fantastic. Your show's not bad either. Yeah, thanks, Tony.
I think that must have been somebody asking Tony how he was, and
Yeah.
I think it was his birthday. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Oh,
Happy birthday,
congratulations,
anyway.
Tony, on 21 again. For me, I think a lot of it has moved on because of the players that we've got in the Premier League now. And a lot of them do con the officials. They do go to ground. There seems to be a lot more free kicks given in today's game than there ever was in our day, if you like. And I'm saying that in our, and it's like the royal we in your time. No, I'm joking. But you understand that, don't you?
Yeah.
We are literally now starting to see the flaws in foreign players coming in and conning the referees, if you like, from going to ground twos. And what annoys me is when they I mean, there was one the other day, and I can't remember who it was. He went to ground. It was a nasty tackle. Don't get me wrong. It was a fierce challenge, but he writhed around in agony, then jumped to his feet and ran 15 yards to the player that committed the foul, and
To
then went to the floor
remonstrate.
again. You
Aye.
know what I mean? And then you're like, what the heck are you doing, lad? Hells, thanks, Sean.
And by the way, Foxy's saying, yeah, which I don't think we have mentioned, in the under-20 World Cup, there's no VAR unless one of the coaches challenges and
Yeah,
calls for VAR, and I think that's another
that's the way forward. Yeah.
fantastic
You've been shouting that
introduction.
for a long time, haven't you?
And I've been shouting that since VAR was since the first debacle season of VAR.
Because I
Says
must admit, they do seem to be getting it right in cricket now, more than they're getting it wrong. They still
yeah,
get it
yeah,
wrong, but they are
because it's
getting it right.
because it's an appeal system,
Yeah, yeah.
and same in tennis, and and the thing is, if at the end of the game, so let's say VAR isn't called into play, and at the end of the day, it can be seen that there was a handball. Well, it obviously wasn't clear and obvious, or the coach in question would have issued a challenge.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
Uh,
fact that he hasn't seen it, me,
Thanks, Sean. Never throw money at this gaff. Yeah, exactly. You're the star, mate.
Just Sean. Um, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted by
About the
money? You
challenge,
can
you were
interrupt
saying
me by money anytime you want.
exactly.
No, the challenge. I think the challenge system just it picks itself. You know, there can be no argument after the event if something is proven to be whatever it is. I mean,
Yeah.
the only thing that could possibly come into that post match, if you like, is if something is seen blatantly to have been a red card challenge.
Mm,
Maybe that could be introduced after the event to say
yeah.
that without doubt that was a red card, should have got a red card, so the player in question is going to be punished for it,
The only problem,
respectively.
yeah, the only problem I see, you see, with all of this is the fact that you see all the analytics and the guys with the screen now in the dugouts. They're getting different camera angles now. Um, Certain coaches, we all know them. We can all they shout and scream for absolutely every challenge that is out there. I can see a lot of coaches losing their two
Well,
shouts within the
exactly,
first 10
and
minutes
there
of the
you
game.
go. And
Yeah,
if they lose it, they know
that's
they
it.
ain't getting them back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Win-win for
is.
me.
Yeah, yeah. Kev Bell is asking a question. Do you really want to pick and choose the decisions in a game, though? What if we use three challenges? Then the last minute, the ref misses a penalty for us to win the game. It needs
Well, that's
consistency.
exactly the same as it is in cricket right now. If a team's used their two challenges, and the replay shows it definitely was
Was out.
LBW,
Yeah, yeah,
hard
yeah,
to bet. You shouldn't have used you shouldn't have wasted your challenges on frivolent
yeah. Mediocre stuff.
challenges.
Yeah, yeah. And like I say, I think it's certainly one that we've got to
And
look at, and
then
it'll be
it's
interesting
putting the scrutiny on the
of the
coaches then,
coaches. Yeah, it is.
and
But
not on the referees.
then Kev's going on to say, then we're no better off than we are, or are we? Still have something to complain about, and refs missing vital decisions. And I think that is it. I think
Yeah, but
until you,
a ref can only see what he can see one time in real time.
yeah, exactly,
VAR can see multiple angles that
multiple
the referee
angles.
can't see,
Yeah,
as can the coaches
exactly.
with the
With what the
technology
technology
they've
that
got in the
they've got, and
dugout
I think
now.
that's what that makes it different, doesn't it? And that's what I said. I think the proof will be in the pudding at the under-20s World Cup.
Yeah,
If that's where it's going to be looked at, and that they always come up with these mandatories, if you like, to change something in the main game by utilising the lesser
like
games.
trailing them elsewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think that's what they should do. Go and have a look, see if it actually works, or if it fails. I mean, for me, I'm all for making it better. I mean, like I said, gone are the days where you rely on the referee to make the sole decision, because it's never going to change. What you
James Cuff's making an interesting point there. Funny enough, hockey and basketball are the two games that I'm not interested
no,
in America. But he says in NHL you've got unlimited challenges, but if you get a challenge wrong, the other team get a power play. They lose a man for 2 minutes. Now, 2 minutes man down in hockey, I do know, is a lot more. You're going to get punished a lot more in hockey than you would in football, being without a man for 2 minutes or whatever, 5 minutes even. So no, I don't. I wouldn't ever be a fan of unlimited challenges with some other form of punishment. That's kind of taking things a bit too far for me.
yeah, you see, because I was interested to see where the there were talk of this orange card, weren't they, in the Premier League at one
Mm.
point, where for players that commit that unproven sin, if you like, a yellow card, um, for whatever reason, they take one for the team.
So that bit, you're still basing the orange basically on intent, aren't you?
Exactly, of course you are. But
Yeah,
it's an
and
opinion.
you
How
cannot,
can
you
you?
cannot. You
That's what
can't.
I'm saying. It's impossible, isn't it? That's what I said.
Yellow or
It
red.
was an
Dead
intriguing one.
simple.
It was an intriguing one. But you know what I'd like to see involved in? You know, when we talk about this pulling and pulling of shirts, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
to
It
me, pulling shirts in the penalty area should be a
should be
penalty.
a
Full
pen.
stop.
Full stop. Yeah.
Any pull on a shirt should be a penalty.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's I mean, it is crazy to see. I've just seen Chris has put something in the chat there.
it's
Oh yeah,
in the
the
crazy assist
crazy
for
assist from
Brazil.
Bruno. Oh, it's beautiful, wasn't it? And you know, the one thing, and I can't remember the young lad who scored the goal, the 18-year-old. Again, we've often criticised as Newcastle fans not having a playmaker. Well, we have got a playmaker. The problem is you've still got to have players in front of you make the runs to play
That's
the ball in. And I don't think having Gordon or Elanga, as I've seen them so far, are actually giving us the options to play the ball into the channels, as you saw from Bruno, which was an amazing. It
and
was inch
by the
perfect
way, I
pass,
think
wasn't it?
Wissa could be that player.
Yeah, yeah, potentially running off the shoulder. Kev saying, forget an orange card. Refs can't even be bothered to get the red or a yellow judgments right, let alone making it even harder with an orange. You're right, but for me, there's got to be there's if they're not going to make a decision on a penalty because of pulling shirts, and we've seen, clear as day, and if you listen to the mic'd refs and the VAR saying minimal contact against Burn, yeah, when he was dragged to the floor with somebody's hands around the waist and dragged to the floor, and you're saying it's minimal contact, then that obviously don't watch many rugby games because for me that to be dragged to the floor, Voltamada's the other one where they said he went to the ground
Oh,
too easy.
the,
You
the,
know,
the number of times you see this, and then Dan Burn gets penalised the same way, just because they're so big, they just have to stand up, and they automatically get decisions going against them.
but is that the thing though? Are they getting discriminated because they're big boys and they shouldn't be going to ground that easy? It's crazy.
I'm not even talking about going to ground sometimes. I'm talking about where the opposition player, runs into them, bashes off them, ends up on the deck, and all they've done is stood their ground, and it's the opposition player that's gone to ground and gets the free kick.
Yeah, yeah.
Does my
Uh,
head in, man.
Daz Lee saying we don't need sin bins like rugby and football. No, thanks.
No thanks.
And I think it goes to that thing about stop, start, doesn't it? Because we've all seen it. One thing I was going to ask you though, do you feel more at ease now with the referees mic'd up, giving you what they believe they've seen in their verdict? Now they've been told to go to the monitor to have a look by VAR, and now they're mic'd up and they're talking to the audience and giving you a reason for the change.
Don't think it
I,
makes a blind bit of
I,
difference.
I was going to say you've took the words out of my mouth. What does that actually give you
It's a
difference?
total. It's a sup to PR.
Yeah,
What they have to do is at the end of the game, whoever is responsible for that final decision should have to face the cameras and explain it. Then forget about doing it during the game. Just the
yeah,
decision's already been made. Then
absolutely. Foxy's put in the chat that Japan are beating Brazil 3-2 now. So that's an interesting one.
oh